So today, lads, we're going to be going over the WNBA playoffs, and I'm going to be predicting the entire thing. This is going to be a very quick preview, only 8 minutes, because, well, I got to record 3 videos. I've got 40 minutes to record. I've got 40 minutes to record 4 videos before I'm leaving for the day. And the next thing after I finish recording these is going to be trying to stream the Fever game. I'm going to try. If I can, great. If I can't, so be it. Anyway, the playoff bracket is not really a bracket, but right here, we have got here the very first round, which is the Lynx and the Valks, 1v8, the Mercury versus the Liberty, 4v5, the Ace versus the Storm, 2v7, the Fever versus the Dream, 3v6. First round, the Lynx versus the Valkyries. The Valks have a lot of heart, but nobody half-assed the playoffs. You cannot win in a playoff series against a team like the Lynx by on a heart alone. I thought the Lynx had a shot of losing. I thought there was a chance the Lynx could lose in the first round if it was the Seattle Storm. Because Seattle Storm have the Lynx's number. While things just aren't working out with the Seattle Storm, player for player, they should be a contender. Like when you have two of the best bench players in the WNBA this season in Dominique Malonga and Erica Wheeler, and then when you have a starting 5 containing 4 All-Stars and Ezi Magbagor, who's 25 years old and has been an All-Star, you should be a contender. But I don't know. So first round, Lynx v Valks, sweep. Sweep and neither game within single digits. Like the Lynx last year in the first round got drawn quite close by the Mercury. But last year's Mercury was a team kind of built for the playoffs, whereas this year's Lynx team is the team built for the playoffs, and I think they're going to beat Golden State. I think Golden State did benefit a lot from teams. It was like the Fever when Caitlin initially got injured. Teams like kind of underestimated them, and Golden State benefited a lot from that. So, yeah, that's my opinion there. And the Mercury versus the Liberty. I think the Liberty are undefeated when their starting 5 remains healthy for a whole game. Their starting 5 of Leo Phoebish, Natasha Cloud, Sabrina Ionescu, Stewie, and Jonquel Jones. They've literally not lost when they're healthy. They're a team that's had injury issues the entire year and are now healthy coming into the playoffs. I think the Mercury are a team who've lost 3 in a row going into the playoffs. I think Satu's fallen off a cliff since the All-Star break. I think Kat Copper has not helped this team. Not her fault, but the addition of they were firing on all cylinders and then bringing her back in hasn't really helped the team, as has Dawana Bonner. I think this team was better when it was Satu playing at her best, Alyssa Thomas running everything, and a whole bunch of undrafted rookies who just were fighting to keep their place in the league. I don't like what's happened to the Phoenix Mercury. I think they've, like player for player, they're better, but I think they kind of added stuff to a really good thing, and I don't know. I'm predicting sweep for New York Liberty. I'm predicting New York Liberty take game 1 and then they take it back to New York and win New York. I think a sweep for New York Liberty. The Aces versus the Seattle Storm. Now, on paper, I think the Seattle Storm are better. This season, the Aces and the Storm have had a lot of close games as far as I remember. I think the Storm, actually no, I think the Ace might beat the Storm by 21 time. But it's been close. A few of the games. So if we want to look matchup for matchup, player for player, in my opinion, Skylar Diggins greater than Chelsea Gray. Jackie Young, the problem is the best 2 players on the floor are 2 Aces players in Jackie Young and AJ Wilson. But then after that, in my opinion, how long do you have to go down until you get to like Chelsea Gray? Because then it's like the next best player on the floor after the 2 of them is NECA. After NECA, it's Skylar. After Skylar, it's Sykes. After Sykes, it's Gabby Williams. After Gabby Williams, it's then maybe Chelsea Gray. I think they have a huge... You've got to go out of your way to exploit Alyssa Smith. And that's one of the things I think in the playoffs they might struggle because Kia Stokes can't really play basketball. They have Cheyenne Parker-Tyus back though. That makes it harder to exploit than Alyssa Smith because like I know she's not all-star Cheyenne Parker-Tyus, but like... So they've played games this year and 3 of them have been super close, and then 1 of them was a blowout for... Sorry, the Storm blew them out. My bad. The Storm blew them out. But yeah, so they've had close games, and the Storm have had one blowout. But for me, anyway, when it comes to the Aces, like having Chian Parker Tyus is big. Like I don't think I think game one, Nalissa Smith can get exposed. And I think that's one of those things. And it's like, I think Nalissa Smith's been playing well. It's just her inability to move off the ball in defense can get exposed. So I would say Aces lose game one, win in 3. But I think it's going to be an extremely tight game 2. I think it's going to be a comfortable win for Seattle in game 1. I think Seattle are looking like they're going to sweep them, and then Seattle blow game 2 at home, and the Aces blitz them in game 3. The Atlanta Dream versus the Indiana Fever, I want to say the Indiana Fever can win. I want to say 3 games. I think maybe the Indiana Fever get him back to Cambridge and steal a game where Ryan Howard or Alicia Gray just can't hit a shot. But no, I'm calling the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream sweep. I predict the Fever to beat the Connecticut Sun last year in an upset. I'm not doing it again this year. The Atlanta Dream sweep. Semifinals then between the New York Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx. This is one where I think the Liberty match up really well to the Lynx. I think the Liberty are better than they were last year. I think the Lynx are better than they were last year. I think they split. I think this goes to 5 games. I think this goes to a best of 5. And I'm going New York Liberty in 5. The whole season I've been on the Lynx hype train. I'm going New York Liberty in 5. I just think that firepower off the bench they have in MMSMN is just too much. I'm going with New York Liberty. I think healthy, they're the best team on paper, and they're pretty good. They're doing pretty well to end the season, and I think that they're going to figure it out. I think they're going to scrape out a couple of wins, and they're going to have they're going to be the team that has the more experience in that 5th game. They're going to win. So I had the Liberty going to the finals. And then in the semifinal, the Atlanta Dream versus the Vegas Aces. I think the Atlanta Dream don't match up that well to Vegas. Like, Bree Jones can't guard Aegis, so Naz Hillman's going to play a lot of minutes. Good defender. Really good defender. Good player. But this comes down to, can Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray... Like, you can only guard one of Ryan Howard or Alicia Gray. You can only guard one of them if you are... if you're Jackie Young. The only thing is, though, is the Chelsea Gray if they have like Jewel Lloyd and stuff on the floor, and if they want to go small ball, Chelsea Gray can guard power forwards. If they want to play Aaliyah Nye in there at the 4, and that it's a tough one on defense, but then you kind of got like Aja being this like sweeper. If Bree Jones can pull Aja out of the key a little bit, it changes things. I don't think they move off the ball enough to exploit Nalissa Smith's lack of off-ball movement, off-ball defense. I think Carl Semesko is a good coach, and I think this series is going to come down to, I think the star for star is quite close. I think this comes down to what role players hit shots. So who plays better, Tina Pow or Jewel Lloyd, that type of thing. And I just think that, look, Jewel Lloyd's a 2-time champion. I think Jewel Lloyd coming off the bench gives them a little bit more firepower. Aces in 4. In 3 of the 4 being tight games. Then the finals. We got a repeat of 2023. We've got the Aces versus the Liberty. And this is where it's like, this is the finals. This is what's going to be the biggest one. And this is a team that has completely had the Aces number over the last 2 years. The Liberty, doesn't matter who's playing for them, they've completely had the Aces number. And with it being best of 7, I think this is where the Aces fairy tale run is over. This is where their fairy tale run is over. Ending the season on a 15-game win streak. I think this is where the fairy tale runs over, and I think they get, with them losing a couple of games in the playoffs, that winning streak run up to this point might make them struggle a bit, but I think they get blitzed. I'm going to give Aja Wilson a game. I'm going 3-1 or 4-1 for the New York Liberty, and that's just out of respect to Aja Wilson that I'm giving them a win. I think it's going to be whichever of the Lynx or the Liberty come in are going to gentlemen sweep the Aces in the finals. So that's the video. See you guys.